love to hear basically, short little background of who you are and how long you've been with FFL and what this business has done for you and your family.
Hey, I appreciate it, Gage, man. And, I'm honored, to be here. As you and Michaela said, and, from the beginning, I look at you as like a brother from another mother, man. Like since day one, first time we met, we kind of like linked arms and got together, and Michaela and my wife Teresa, they linked as well, and it just made for a beautiful thing. So definitely just thank y'all for the opportunity. But yeah, man, who is Brandon Kitchens, man? I tell everybody, man, I'm just a little country boy, man, from South Carolina, from a very small town. Just with aspirations of, doing great things, for my kids. And, I have five girls, one boy. So I got a lot of weddings to pay for, right? And or at least a lot of weddings that I would love to pay for, so that's one of the things that keep me going here at FFL. But before FFL, I was in mortgages with one of the biggest banks in the country. Was with them for about 12 years. Did everything under the mortgage umbrella, and just kind of got kind of tired of the rat race, mentally, working hard 60, 70 hours a week for them, and really was just getting by, for my family. And I think my last year there, I wrote over $40 million in loans, and they paid me 84 grand. And it really, had me looking at things a little differently as I was approaching 40, right? Because it's like, man, when I was in my 20s, this is not where I thought I would be getting to 40, right? So I was kind of intrigued about doing something different. But what brought on, life insurance and FFL for me was my father-in-law passed in October of 2018, and he didn't have any life insurance. And that burden fell on my wife and I, with our kids, and it wasn't easy. It was pretty tough, going through it, and it just made me realize how important life insurance was. And I told my wife, I said, hey, maybe I need to look at getting into life insurance. If I can help, one family not go through what we went through, it'll be a win for me. And that's what sparked it. And, so started looking around, got recruited, by a couple other IMOs, that think they're our competitors, right? And, I didn't know a whole lot at that time. So when they ran through their comp plan with me, 60 to 110, I was like, that sounds good. I'm like, that sounds pretty good. And then I reached out to one of my friends that I knew for a while, and I knew he maybe knew a little bit more about life insurance than I did, just to kind of run it by him. And he was like, man, if you're looking to get into life insurance, you need to take a look at FFL. I was like, who is FFL? And so he sent me a video. He was like, check out this video and then give me a call back. So I watched the video and I called him back, and I was like, bro, this shit ain't real. I'm sorry, sorry for that. But I was like, this ain't real, man. Like, he was like, nah, yeah. I was like, there's no way companies out there, taking care of people like that. I'm like, I worked for the biggest bank all this time. They don't take care of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's, there's no way. And he was like, yeah, just come to my house. Let me show you some things. Went over to his house. He showed me some bank statements. He did like $7 grand in a week. I was like, what do I got to do? Who I got to kill? You know what I'm saying? Like what I got to do, to have the opportunity to make $7,000 in a week. And, and he, laid it down for me, got me started. Long story short, I quit the bank even before I passed the test. I started studying and was having problems studying because I was giving the bank all my time, and I just ended up quitting the bank, before I even passed the test, because I just believe that if this is really what it is, I know the hustle that I have in my bone. If you see my shirt, number one hustle, right? I know the hustle. I know the hustle that I have in my bones, and it was all about me implementing my skill set here. And I knew that I would be able to go make it happen. So with that, with the blessings of my wife, I actually was just kind of playing with it. I was like, hey, I know I can do this, but I think I'm gonna have to quit the bank first so I can pass the test. And I was just testing her to see what she would say. And she was like, do what you got to do. I was like, I guess I gotta quit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but she was like,
Yeah.
yeah, do what you gotta do. She was like, I got you, I'll hold down, she worked at the bank as well. That's where I met her at. She was like, I'll hold down, the benefits and everything. You go do what you gotta do. I know you're gonna, take care of the family. So that gave me the confidence to do it. Passed the test 2 weeks, got going. And everything is, just been taken off from there. It's the best decision I've ever made.
So how long have you been with Family First Life?
Still about 2.5 years now.
2.5 years. And how different is it from when you first started?
Completely night and day. I mean, you've been here that same time. The struggles in the beginning, and I try to tell new agents all the time, like FFL is really like a box of, it's like wine. It's like this thing gets better with age. You know what I'm saying? It gets better with age. The opportunity that new agents have now, we didn't have those opportunities, Gage, right? You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
It was, when we started, nobody was starting. You had a girl did 45,000 the first month, right?
Yep.
Nobody was doing that when we started.
No.
It was like
20K was legit.
Was legit, right? Now 40 is the new 20, right?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So the opportunity just gets better. The lead flow, all of that is better. We just had Facebook leads and mortgage protection.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
right?
it.
So it's either
and that's why I feel like agents don't understand truly what they have their hands on with all these different options. Like, guys, we didn't have options. It was like, hey, go find leads. Good luck. Hopefully they're TPCA compliant. But so the whole reason and main reason why we wanted to bring you on here, Brandon, is because obviously you've taken the telesales, phone sales, virtual sales approach by the horns. And last month, I know that I just seen you on the USA report. You did 47,000 last month.
Yeah.
Okay. And out of the 47,000, Brandon, how much do you think was in person? 0. Okay. Want to make that very loud and clear here, guys. So he did 47,000 over the phone or via Zoom, correct?
No Zoom.
No Zoom, just straight telesales.
Yeah, I don't do Zoom.
Okay. Me either. I don't know how to work it. Michaela does that. But anyways, so all right, man, you called me. I talked to you probably, I don't know, 3 weeks ago or something like that. And I just asked you your approach to it. And I was just like, man, that was really, really good. And so when you're calling leads, now you're working a variety of leads, I imagine, right? Or could you, I guess, dive into what you're currently running? As far as
so a little bit of everything. It's almost the one thing that Stephen Yee taught me when I first started here was lead diversification. Yep. Not putting all your eggs in one basket. And I think there's a lot of people that didn't understand that, but they learned the lesson last month, because I had some agents that was running only Facebook leads. And you remember when Facebook went down for a day last month?
Yep.
Those agents were calling me like crazy. Like you should get some CRM leads.
Yep.
Yeah, what I'm saying. And so that's why you don't want to stake your business on just one lead vendor, and then what happens if something happens to them, and now your business gets directly affected. So you want to diversify your leads, just like as you're in the field. Same thing over the phone. So currently I'm running my mortgage protection. That's my number one lead flow.
Yep.
On mortgage protection. But then I'm also mixing in internet leads more now than I was in the past. And a lot of that is because of what Josh Williams is doing. Yep. And me having the time to spend time with him over the last couple of weeks. I've had a chance to kind of really pick his brain on what they're doing with those internet leads. And so I've kind of taken some of that and added that in as well. But then also I have the live transfers rolling now. So like three vendors going.
And I know you specifically prefer a certain internet lead over others. And what type of internet lead do you prefer, Brandon?
Man, give me those 1 and 3 months, man.
1 and 3 month, guys.
Yeah.
Or what? How much are they?
$4 and $3, $2.20 with the discount, $1.80, $1.70 with the discount.
I mean, it's just silly. And the thing is, we experienced it with both of us having direct mail mortgage protection leads. They just upped the price on us. It went from All my mortgage leads were $56. Now they're $74, guys.
Yeah.
And I feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact that you have the option of buying $3 or $4 leads and still finding success out of it, it's like, we're talking, how much ROI do you want? You know what I mean? And it's just putting in the sweat equity of dialing the phone and helping people. But we won't, we'll dive right into it really, Brandon. Like, so let's do a 1 month or 3 month old internet lead. And let's just do a quick little, you're calling me up, trying to do a 1 call close, and just hear that the word tracks and verbiages and leading me through that process, what that kind of looks like.
Okay. And to kind of just keep it quick, I'm going to go past the intro. We all know the intros. The intros are the intros, who I am. Well, one thing I'll say about my intro that may be different from some other people is something that I learned from Trey Honeycutt when I first started. If anybody on here has never watched a Trey Honeycutt live dial video, like, you need to, because that will help set your mind on the fact that if somebody is as bad as Trey Honeycutt is on the phone, if somebody like him could wind up with almost $4 million this past month. If somebody can do that with as bad as he sounds on the phone, and he did produce when he was producing, then that should open your mind up to like how good the opportunity should be for you, because there's no possible way you could be worse than Trey Honeycutt. Like he is bad. I'm talking about like bad. But the one thing that I picked up from him with his dial was his immediate intro is, "Hey, Gage, hey brother, don't hang up. I'm not a telemarketer." Like, that right there has been gold for me. I've had clients tell me after I've sold them or got in their house and sold them that the only reason they even booked an appointment with me or gave me the time was because I said I wasn't a telemarketer at the beginning of the call. You know what I'm saying? That's gold. It's gold. And what that does, it really just sets them back for a moment and makes them open up their ears to hear the next line out of your mouth. Because we all do this. Whenever I get a call from a number I don't know, and I answer that call, and it's the student loan people or the car warranty people, I shut down right away. Click, bam. I don't give them time of day to say nothing else. Right? I shut down. So again, when I say I'm not a telemarketer, then that at least makes you pause for a second and be like, let me hear what he got to say. And then now they're open to hearing my next line, which then allows me to stay on the phone longer with them. So that's my intro. And then I'll go into verifying who I am, why I'm calling you, verifying your information. And then I make my transition after I verify your information. Then I make my transition there. So it's like, okay, Gage, due to the pandemic and the new Delta variant, we're currently servicing clients 2 ways at this time. I used to offer 3, but now I'm doing 2 because nobody ever chose Zoom. But we're doing it 2 ways. So Gage, I can either come out there to the house and we can do this face to face, or we can do this over a phone call. Which one of those options work best for you, brother?
Oh, we could just do it over the phone.
Right. Okay. So great. If we're gonna do it over the phone, Gage, that's totally fine. I just need to be totally honest with you at this time and 100% transparent, as I am with all my clients. Once we find a plan, Gage, that fits your need and most importantly your budget, we're then going to be submitting an application for coverage to the insurance carrier to see if you can be approved. All right. Now, that's going to require me to ask you for some very sensitive information at that time as well, Gage, that the insurance company needs. Things like your driver's license information, your social security number, and your banking information. Is that going to be a problem for you, Gage?
Oh, no, man, that should be fine.
Great. All right. And again, that's what I'm typically getting, right? They're like, yeah, we can do it over the phone. That's totally fine. And now why are they saying that? Why are they so quick to say, yeah, it's cool to do it over the phone? The reason that they're saying that is because right now people are already comfortable setting up their homeowners insurance over the phone, their car insurance over the phone, their health insurance over the phone. They're opening up bank accounts over the phone. My wife, that's what she used to do for the bank. They set up bank accounts over the phone, right? They also purchasing cars from vending machines that's getting delivered on the back of a truck, right? And then also ordering food through DoorDash, and you're trusting a stranger to deliver food to your house that you're going to ingest into your body. somebody you never known. So people are already used to doing these type of things and handling transactions, big time transactions, like right over the phone. So if you don't make it weird, they don't make it weird. Right. Right. So now I've had somebody before, real quick, trying to break it down while we go through it. But I've had somebody say, hey, I don't feel comfortable giving you my information over the phone with all these scams and stuff going on. And I just say, hey, brother, I totally understand where you're coming from. However, that's why they give the option for me to come out there and go face-to-face as well. However, let me help you understand the process over the phone. Before I ask you for any of that very sensitive information, Gage, I will be sending you a picture of my ID along with my state license. You can take that information and go to the South Carolina Department of Insurance website and put my license number in and verify that I am a licensed agent of the state. Does that make sense? And then the one person, he was like, yeah, he's like, if that's the case, we can just do it over the phone.
Yep.
Right. So I'm like, okay, so now we're going to do it over the phone. You're cool with all that. You didn't give me an objection. I put all that out on Front Street like I do in the house because I want to address the elephant in the room up front and take care of the objections up front as well, right? But that's your chance to object, and then I'll overcome the objection, right? Whatever the objection is, right? But no objection, you're cool over the phone. I'm cool over the phone. All right, Gage. So this process really takes about 15, maybe 20 minutes, Gage. Because what I want to do now is I want to try to pivot to now transition to a one call close. Okay. Because the fact that I got you on the phone, Gage, it would be very foolish of me to book an appointment to get you back on the phone. Right. That'd be very foolish. We're already on the phone. Why would I book an appointment to get you back on the phone? Right. So it takes, 15, 20 minutes for this process, Gage. I actually have about 40 minutes before my next appointment. You have about 15, 20 minutes to go and knock it out now? We can knock it out now.
Yeah, man, I got some time.
Okay, great. So now, Gage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you over my information. Now I'm going to text over to you the picture of my ID and my license. What I need you to do, if you could respond back to that with a picture of your ID, or if you like to hold it by your face and take a selfie, whatever one, works best for you, brother. All right, bam. I wait for you to, get that. You send it back. Now we're going to get started. So before we can get started, Gage, I need you to do one thing for me. Can you please state your full name for me over the recorded line?
Yeah, it's Gage Nicholas Peart.
Bam. Why do I do that? Because that's what we did at the banks.
Yep.
Right? That's what you do anytime you call into any business. They always make you, state your name, or they tell you that the line is recorded, right? So that right there is to cement for you that this is a legitimate process. Yep. Everything is being recorded. This is safe, right? I'm making you comfortable doing this with me and not seeing me, right? And then now I can jump into the appointment once you do that. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and pull out the why, right? So Gage, why, there's two reasons why people, look for this type of, submit for this type of coverage. One reason, they want to be responsible, and not leave a burden on their loved ones, when it comes to final expenses, or two, they're looking to leverage a legacy at this time. Which one of those were your main concern when you fill this out?
Yeah, man, I just want to be responsible and not burden my family with those expenses.
Okay. All right. So great. And I commend you for that, brother, because, most people, don't think that way. They don't think about, protecting their loved ones until it's too late. So I commend you for doing that. And my job today is just to help you, see that through. Okay. All right. So then dig into the why. Who are we? I'm not going to waste time on that. Right. Who we're protecting, what's their name, where they at. We all know how to do that, build that why, right? Now, once I feel that you sold me that you need this, now I can transition to my next phase, which is now qualifying you, okay? Qualifying you. So what I'm doing over the phone is a very shortened version of the in-home, because over the phone, you can't do an hour-long presentation over the phone. Attention spans are very short. Right. So I'm cutting things in half in terms of, I'm not going to go through the whole list of issues like I would in the house. So I'm like, hey, Gage, on a scale from 1 to 5, brother, with 5 being great, how would you rate your health?
I'd say 4.
4. Okay. And why would you rate it a 4? What kind of issues, what kind of medications have you been prescribed?
Man, I do got some diabetes, man. But
Okay.
other than that, it's just I'm out of shape, but I do have diabetes.
Okay. And is that type 1 or type 2? You taking pills or insulin?
It's type 2 taking pills.
Okay. Is that metformin?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And anything else? Well, let me ask you this: Has the doctor ever told you that the diabetes was not well controlled?
I know we're good, man. Trying to
Good.
get
Okay.
off of the metformin.
All right. Any other issues at all outside of the diabetes? No heart attacks, no strokes, no cancers, no COPD,
No, sir.
like that. Okay.
Nope.
All right. So, hey, brother, man, just to be straight with you, man, you're really about a 4.5, maybe about 4 3/4. All right, you're not a 4. You're about a 4.5. I love to do that because most people, they always rate themselves lower than what they really are because they don't know, right? They could just, I had one guy that broke his ankle. He said he was a 3 because he broke his ankle. I'm like, brother, you're a 5. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, like they don't care about they just care about like major organs and things like that. You know
Oh
what I'm saying?
yeah, and then you'll get the people who had 2 heart attacks and take 4 medications. But yeah, I'm healthy. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah, right. It's like vice versa.
Yep.
But most time they underrate themselves, and I'm just gonna come back and make you feel good about yourself,
Love
right?
it.
I'm gonna feed
Yep.
your ego at this
Yep.
time, and then now, so you're really a 4.5, 4 4 3/4, really, Gage. So now in my head, alarms are going off. America, CBO 100, CBO 100. That's going off in my head. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yep.
And so now the next thing is to transition to going over the product, showing you product, what offering the product. So what I typically do with Americo, because a lot of people don't know who Americo is, and it's a lot easier to sell Americo in the home when you have your policy with you, because you can always show them your policy and show them that this is the company that you chose to protect your family as well out of all these companies that you can write with. Because I can write with all the companies that exist, Gage, but I've chosen Americo, right?
Yep.
And now that's what I'm going to be showing you. So over the phone, it's going to be a little bit different. You can't show them your policy. So when I leave with Americo, I'm like, all right, Gage, so the carry we're going to be looking at, for you today is the company by the name of Americo. I'm pretty sure you've probably never heard of them before. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, that's safe to say, man.
All right. Hey, no problem. And that's cool, brother, because I've only been doing insurance for about 2.5 years. I was in mortgages before this. I never heard of Americo either before getting into insurance. And the reason that is, brother, is because they spend $0 a year on advertisement, right? And the fact that they're not paying Patrick Mahomes, Chris Paul, and Aaron Rodgers, to endorse their company, that allows them, to offer great benefits and great pricing that these other companies can't match. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, man.
All right. So what I want to do, Gage, if I can get your email address at this time, I'm going to go ahead and email over the brochure to you so that you can take a look at this while I go through these coverages with you. So I'll get your email. Bam, I got all the brochures saved on my computer. Shoot that over to you. You get it, you pull it up. Now, what I'm finding after I send you that email, now you've gotten 2 forms of contact from me, right? You got a text message with my ID, with my state license. Now you're getting an email with the brochure. Now what that's doing is making you even more comfortable, right? Making you even more comfortable about this process and the legitimacy of this process, right? And then now I'll just break down, those benefits. Everybody knows the benefits in America. For me, I like to break it down with people in terms of like car insurance, because everybody knows car insurance, right? So I'm like, Gage, I'm sure, you have car insurance on your car. You probably have full coverage, right? So you understand the difference between,
Full coverage and liability.
yeah, I'm sorry. I almost went blank for a second. You understand the difference between liability coverage and full coverage, right? Liability covers some things, full coverage covers everything, right? So based on your health today, brother, looks like you may have an opportunity to qualify for this top product, which is going to give you full coverage. Okay. And then I'll break that down. Liability and life insurance is death benefit only, right? You die, it pays out. Anything else happen? Nothing. It does nothing. Right. But this mortgage, for you, I'm not mortgage station, we don't thing. But for this product for you, Gage, it's going to give you full coverage at this time, not only a death benefit for your family, but 2 benefits that go to you as well, which is living benefits and then getting your cash back. So I'll break that down, right? Most people have never heard of living benefits or cash back. So it always, oh, I've never heard of that before. Like, yes, it does exist. And I have access to it for you, right? You know, break that down, make sure you understand the benefits. And then I'll say, hey, Gage, do you have any questions about the product, about the benefits at this time that I've gone over with you?
Not at this time, man.
Okay, great.
Wait. How does this company make money?
How do they make money? Okay, great question. I'm glad you asked that, Gage. Because typically what insurance companies do, Gage, how they really make their money is really not off of our payments that we pay them each month. What they do, they take your payment, my payment, the other clients' payments, and they put them in this big bucket of money that they have, this big pool of money that they have. And then they invest that money into the primary stock market, not the secondary stock market that you and I can buy stocks out of, but the primary stock market, right? Where they're getting 20, 25% returns. Okay. So the fact that they're going to have your money for 25, 30 years, they're investing it. By the time they give you all your money back at the end, Gage, they've made 4 times off of it.
Yep.
Right. So that's the best deal for everybody, is for you not to die and they just give you your money back. Yep. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense.
All right. You know, so I'm going to address that. Now it's about, getting to the offer, right? Showing the options. Okay. Yep. Which is going to be a little different than in the home, because in the home, you got a little bit more control. Typically I'm writing down the 3 options, right? Spinning that paper around. Hey, Gage, based on, everything that we want to uncover today, which one of these benefits do you believe Michaela deserves? Right. That's how I do it in the house. Right. Hopefully Michaela's right there just eyeing you down, just grilling you when I ask it that way. Right. So you better not pick that first one, boy. If you pick that first one, you can do it, right. Yeah.
But that's a great word track for everyone who's running in-home appointments to utilize. Which benefit do you want to leave the wife, right? And say their name. That's how you grab their attention and make sure that they're actually listening to what you got to say.
Correct.
I appreciate you sharing that.
No, you're welcome. But over the phone, it's a little different. And this is what I'm doing. So some people are doing something different. Like Josh, he's showing 3 options over the phone. For me, I'm still doing it my way. It's been working. And so it's not broke, I'm not trying to fix it, right? But for me, the fact that I've been letting you choose the entire time we've been on this call, and I've let you believe that you are controlling everything that's going down today, right? Because I let you choose it. I let you choose how we're going to do it, right? I also let you choose if we're going to do it right now, right? So I'm going to continue that trend while we're on the call. I'm going to continue the trend of you choosing things, okay? Yep. And so now when it comes to showing options, I'll say something like, hey, Gage, when it comes to putting some great coverage in place, sorry. I'm never looking to put you in anything that's going to have you cringing each month when it's time to make your payment. It's got to be something that's affordable and comfortable, right? Not only today, but tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, and the following year as well. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense.
All right. Yep. And the biggest reason for that, Gage, is because, when it comes to these programs, I'm not allowed to oversell you. Okay, I can get in trouble for that. So the last thing I need is 3 months from now, 6 months from now, me getting an email from the insurance carrier saying that you canceled the plan. And then now my boss is going to be breathing fire down my back, because they're going to know that you didn't cancel the plan because you didn't love Michaela. You canceled it because I oversold you, right? Yep. So with that said, I only want to make sure that it's something that fits in your budget correctly, Gage. So when it comes to putting some great protection in place today for you and Michaela, what does that look like for you in terms of affordability? Were you looking to be somewhere between $50 and $80 a month, or let's say $80 and $120 a month, or $120 to $200 a month? Which one of those ranges best fits your budget at this time?
Probably anywhere that 80 to 120, comfortable.
Okay, all right, 80 to 120. That's pretty much what where most people land. You know, in that middle range. You know, want to do something for their family and make sure that it's enough. So let me see what I can do for you, Gage. You know, with the discounts that I have access to, and I'm already running figures and everything. So now I can just come back, you know, within a couple seconds and say, all right, Gage. So based on, you know, the budget and where you want to stay at this time, looks like possibly get you $200,000 of coverage on that plan. And the pricing on that is going to be at $126.73 a month. How does that sound?
I mean, 200,000, 126. I mean, I think that definitely sounds good.
Okay, you sure? Like the extra $6, I know you want to be around like 120. That extra $6 is not going to throw the budget off, anything like that. If you were to, like, you know, have 2 flat tires on the way to work, you know, the hot water heater goes out or anything like that, that extra $6 is not going to put you in a position where it might put your policy in jeopardy, is it?
No, man. I mean, if I'm getting my money back, then that's fine.
Okay, great. Again, just want to make sure. All right, so if you're comfortable with that, Gage, you know, we're probably like 10, less than 15 minutes away from getting this thing sold up. You just got to complete the application. There's going to be some emails that needs to be signed throughout the process. You're going to get 2 emails through DocuSign throughout the process. But, you know, we have this thing buttoned up in about 10, 15 minutes, and I'll have you and Michaela back to enjoying, date night or whatever, you know what I'm saying? At this time, you know, how does that sound?
Yeah, no, that sounds good, man.
All right. And then bam, I mean, from there,
just writing the application.
Yeah,
no, I mean, I think you say some key words there, like you slid in that discount rates, which is slick, right? Because they have no idea what you're offering them. But if you're offering the discount rates, I mean, the rates got to be good. Yes. And I know that you've also have used a word track with saying discount with COVID or something like that, right? What would you say?
Oh, that's when I'm calling. Typically, like when I'm calling the book appointments, I'm calling from the discounted life insurance program with the pandemic discounts.
With the pandemic discounts. That's
pandemic discounts, baby. And it's all about, again, using word tracks and things that people like to hear. People like to hear the word discount, right? Yep. You know, they like to hear, and especially when it comes to this pandemic, nobody wants to miss out on their piece of the pie from the stimulus or, yep, you know, the pandemic stuff that's going on. Like, everybody wants their piece of the pie. So yep, that's why I'm always using those word tracks, you know, discounts, pandemic discounts. Now, am I lying when I talk about, you know, pandemic discounts? No. I mean, do we have pandemic discounts? No. But are our rates heavily discounted? Yes. You know, right? And I don't know if anyone on here has ever seen it, but I had a client last year where he and his wife had already got a plan 3 months before I got there, because over Christmas, the family was talking about everybody need life insurance. So him and his wife, they just called AIG, right? And you know AIG, right? So they called AIG. He ain't got nothing but diabetes. AIG ain't gonna say, hey, bro, you can get a miracle, right? They ain't gonna say that. They gonna be like, yeah, we got you. Come on, we got you. You know what I'm saying? And so they done put him in a 2-year graded plan, guaranteed issue. You know, he's paying, you know, I want to say like $151 a month for $15,000 of coverage, you know, and then I sit down with him and then I show him, you know, my rate with AIG, it was $115 a month for the same $15,000. You know, if he would have got it through me versus getting it through AIG. So that showed that our rates are discounted. You know, it's like, you know, we're the ones that's bringing millions of dollars to these companies. So they're going to give us the player rate, right? Yep. You know, I've been in the game before, right? If I came to you and bought more ounces than the next man, you gave me the better deal.
Better deal.
You know what I'm saying? Right? Yeah, I'm just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? You know, but for real, so it's the same thing with this. You know, the insurance company, they're going to give FFL the better deal because FFL is bringing the clientele.
Yep. No, that it is facts. And I just wanted you to say that word track because I know it's working for you. And you're absolutely right. Like us saying things that are appealing to their ear, such as discount, is very, very appealing to dealing with you because most insurance agents ain't going to tell them that they get a discount, right? Yeah. But so take it back. That was great. Definitely love that smooth process, more or less. I didn't want to give you any type of ejection so we could get through it. But obviously I know when you're calling these people, you're not always going to say that they got time to do it right now.
Nope.
So when you verify the information and tell them that we can get all over the phone, but they ain't got any time now, how do you handle that?
So that's a great question. So my whole thing now is I'm calling to one call close. My whole goal when I call you is to one call close you. The reason I'm doing that, because if you ever watch Wolf of Wall Street, I'm sure people have, at no point in time on that movie did they ever call people to book appointments, right? They were calling to close deals, right? Yep. They were calling to close deals. So that's my intention is to call and close you on the one call close. Now, the appointment is secondary, and that's only because Michaela isn't with you right now, right? Yep. So, you can't do it right now because Michaela isn't with you, and I'm not going to do a one-legger. I've done that one too many times, listen, oh yeah, I'm the decision maker. Okay. And then I get over there and then we go through and it's like, oh, I got to talk to my wife. I thought you were the decision maker. Right. But that's never the case. So I don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Right. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Right. Yep. So I'm going to book the appointment with you, because Michaela's not there. So Gage, so when will be a good time where I can get you and Michaela on the phone for about 15, 20 minutes? You can just be on speakerphone and I can talk to both of you at the same time.
I think Saturday should be good for us, man.
Okay, Saturday. Okay. And then so we lock the time down, right? Bam, we get a time down for Saturday. Now, what I'm doing when I'm booking appointments, and it's something that I started doing in the field to minimize my no-show rate, it's something I learned from Stephen Yee. It's called the triple tie down, right? So now I'm gonna use my triple tie down. So bam, we got the appointment set for Saturday at, let's say 2 p.m. Right. So Gage, you got you set for Saturday at 2 p.m. With you and Michaela. Can you do me a favor? You have pen and paper to write some information down for me?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Right. Okay. So give you some information here. So let me give you my name, Brandon Kitchings, spell that out for you. Also Gage, my state license number, 190-764-90 as well. And then last thing, Gage, here is the discount code that allows me to lock the rates in until the appointment for you, so that you don't miss out on those discounts. So I'm gonna give you that. It's gonna be M as in Mary, 7780. All right. Now you got that. Now you wrote that down. An appointment time, Gage, we got you set for Saturday at 2 p.m. All right. So Gage, can you repeat that back to me? What time is the appointment for Saturday?
1 o'clock.
No, I think we got 2 o'clock, brother.
2 o'clock. Okay, yeah, that's what I got, man. My bad, man.
2 o'clock. Okay, so yeah, so 2 o'clock Saturday, right? All right. And then also, Gage, is there any reason, Gage, that you don't think that you and Michaela would be able to make that appointment? The only reason I'm asking you that, brother, is because it looks like we just had another family looking to book that slot at this time, but it's totally yours if the two of you are going to be there. Any reason that y'all won't be able to make that appointment?
No, man, we should be good.
Okay, so now the third part, so I had you write it down. I had you repeat it. That's tie down 1, tie down 2. Tie down 3 is I take the appointment away from you, right? Everybody wants things that they can't have, right? So now I take the appointment away from you. I'm giving you an opportunity to tell me right now, Gage, that you are BSing me and that you might not make this appointment, and the fact that I'm telling you that another family wants this, if you're going to take that slot over booting out another family and show me for this appointment, what I've learned is I didn't want to deal with you anyway. And excuse my French, that's because you're a POS, you're a piece of shit, right? Yeah. For real. Like, cause you didn't mind not only messing up my schedule, but you also didn't mind messing over another family at this time. So if show me, I'm not going to worry about trying to get back in touch with you, worrying about what ifs and stuff. I'm like, they're just a POS, right? I'm on to the next.
And so you're telling them that
they're POS?
No. You're telling them that you're not going to call them back. Or what's the third tie down?
The third tie down was me taking the appointment away from you and making you.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Revalidate
because you got another family. I got you.
Yeah, that was the third tie down. I'm taking it away. Is any reason you won't be there? Because I got another family that wants this slot.
Yep.
So I'm taking it away from you and then making you revalidate it.
Love that.
You know what I'm saying?
Takeaway.
Yeah. So that's the third tie down. Yeah.
Love that, man. Okay, I got you. So I guess so. Since you've been doing one call closes, right? Are you dialing the phone every day of the week now?
Every day. I'm right here in this office, 7:30 a.m. to typically 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Love it. And that's the thing, guys, that I would really want to reiterate here is like, if you want to get good at this business, you can't just, I think I seen Jordan Lowry post something the other day. You can't learn how to run a mile in 4 hours. You have to run an hour every single day or 30 minutes every single day. Like you just doing it in a spurt and then not doing it for a little while. Like that's how you hurt yourself more and more and more. And the biggest thing I think with new agents is you understanding that every day should be dial day. Every day you should be working on your craft. It's not saying that you got to dial for 8 hours, 6 hours, 4 hours, whatever. Like just getting that skill set worked on a daily basis so you get stronger and stronger and stronger. It's just like the gym. If you wanted to get a six pack, you ain't going to the gym 2 days a week.
No.
You're going to go to the gym 5-6 days a week. It's the same thing. If you want to generate income for your family, you can't just do it 1 or 2 days a week. Like you got to work on your skill set every single day of the week to get to the goals that you want to get to and ultimately find that financial freedom that most of us on here are seeking. So I just think it's super important that a guy who is running a big agency, producing at a high level is dialing the phones every single day, because that is where the money is made, is the phones. That's where all the money is made. He paid $47,000 last month over the phone. That's very duplicatable. And I just, something that we've done here recently, Brandon, is that we've opened up our Zoom room Monday through Friday to be able to make calls, to make telesales, to take live transfers, and to listen in to a couple other agents or hearing what they're saying. And my man, Marcus McCall, is smooth as butter, man. You should hear him. He's walking them through the process. Don't give them a chance to talk.
Nope.
And only time they talk is agreeing to what he got to say. And he's just walking them through the process. And I don't even know what he did today. He made like 4 sales today while he's dialing the phone. Like that's work, guys. And he's just figured out that craft by doing it over and over and over. And that's how you can get good. And I just think that the telesales and virtual sales approach to this business is the future, and how we get our profitability out the roof. Yeah. I mean, how many times, Brandon, have you filled up a tank of gas in the morning and then had to fill it up at night? I mean, I know I'm right there with you, brother. Like I've been in that same scenario where we're driving 300 miles in a day, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no better way of learning than sitting belly to belly with Tom and Mary and learning how to overcome objections. But one thing that I heard Sean Mike tell me a couple months back is that we are really good at overcoming objections, like really, really good, especially in the home, right? Yeah. And so a lot of times some of us can convince or get the client to submit the application when damn well they don't want to do it, but they're just going to agree to it because they want you to get out the house. Yeah, right? Yeah. And so then 2 weeks later, we get an email saying that they cancel the policy, right? Because we forced that sale. With telesales and virtual sales, you know what they can do? They don't like what you're saying? They can end that, they can leave that meeting, they can hang up the phone on you. So if they're willing to go from point A to point Z through the phone, that intent of that policy and that retention and that placement of that policy is out the roof, guys. And Sean explained to us that they had an agent who did it for over a year because they didn't want to open up the floodgates, and his persistency, and this is $1 million producer, his persistency was higher doing telesales and virtual sales than it was when he was in the home. Yeah. So that should say something to you guys, that I'm not saying that you have to go 100% virtual or 100% telesales, but let's work smarter, not harder. Door knocking is the only reason I'm still in this business. And I know for a fact it'll build your communication skill set and being able to talk with people so that it's still a necessity. But at the same time, guys, being able to get on a Zoom room with other agents and being able to hear what they're saying, like Brandon or like Marcus, like that's going to get you to the point that you want to go. And I just think we'd be foolish not to be open-minded, because I was. When Brandon called me 3 weeks ago, I'm like, ah. But after I got done talking to him, I'm like, ooh, boy, like he just learned how to phrase it to where he's leading you through the process. And it wasn't something that was so horrendous or something that's so like people are against. Like, of course, you're going to still run to people who say, I'm not giving you my social or banking information over the phone. That's completely fine. I'm that way, really. But you're going to run into plenty of people who are willing to take care of everything over the phone. And I know that, you know, if you've dialed the phone, especially internet leads, you've gotten hung up on or told that I just wanted a quote and boop, hung up on you because we were trying to book that appointment. So let's take the path of least resistance and give them options. Like Brandon said, you're letting them choose. There's power in allowing the client to choose. In all reality, you're really leading them to what you want them to choose. Right. So, and I think that's really important. But go ahead, man. We're going to say something.
Not to cut you off, but just before I forget, and while you were talking about that, you know, about persistency, you know, so I've been doing it now for about 7 weeks now, and I've only had no BS, one cancellation. All right. I only had one cancellation in the last 6-7 weeks, you know, and I think largely in part because they are choosing it. And so it's real hard for them to make themselves believe they can't afford something that they chose.
Yep.
Right.
And so I guess where I would like to end this off at. So now you've closed them down, right? You've had one cancellation in 6-7 weeks. How are you cementing it down that you're going to be their life insurance agent? Or are you sending them anything? Are you telling them anything, having them do anything once you've gotten that sale?
It's the same thing that I do in the home. You know, I have my staff, you know, for that stuff. So I tell them the same thing. Hey, Gage, you know, congratulations. You know, you've been approved. You know, want to thank you for allowing me, you know, to help you take care of this important matter and trusting me, you know, with this process. From this point forward, Gage, you know, I'm your guy for life, right? Anything you need, friends, family members, kids, anybody, you know, you send them my way. I'll take care of them just like I took care of you, right? And then also throughout this process, what's going to be next, Gage, you will get a call from my assistant in the next 24 to 48 hours. She'll call you just to confirm the approval for you. And then also she'll give you a call back in about a week from then to confirm that you received the policy in the mail. And then she'll also, you know, ask if you got any questions for me or anything. And once she, you know, confirms that you have no more questions, she's then going to get you a thank you card out as well.
Awesome. And so guys, like, I know that not everyone has staff members, but what he did is very duplicatable, saying, I will call you in the next 24 to 48 hours to confirm, which we should be doing. We shouldn't be a one-stop shop and they never hear from you again. Like if you want the business to stay on the books, you need to be communicating with them at least for a 2-week period, right? And then they'll forget about you, but they just helped you earn $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,500. Like, don't just try to run away and hope they never call you again. Like like communicate. That's what this all is about. And they want to know that someone cares about them. So say that you'll call them back in 24 to 48 hours, add it into your Google Calendar so you don't forget, and then put it into your Google Calendar 2 weeks later to give them a call to make sure they got in the policy. And if they didn't get the policy, okay, no worries. Should be coming in any day now. Will you please give me a call back when you do get the policy?
Yep.
And most of the times they're going to call you back because you've already called them 2 times after you've originally helped them with their policy. So I just think it's super important, guys, that your follow-up game is how you keep your money.
Correct.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If your follow-up game sucks, you're going to be climbing out the hole and going to be climbing out the hole and climbing out the hole because you didn't want to take 5 minutes to make a phone call. That's it. It's like a 2-minute conversation, and it ain't anything long. It's hey, you cool? Yeah, cool. No, that's it. That's it.
And then real quick, because I know time is moving, but 2 more things real quick. And one is for Morris, because he asked me a question earlier, and I really wanted to address that for him. The other one is when it comes to what I found with the phone sales is I've been getting more referrals from my phone sales than I got in the 2 years that I was running in the field. You know, I would always ask people, you know, hey, send me, you know, anybody you know, send them my way. You know, I'll help them in the field. And I've probably gotten 1 or 2 referrals in the last, you know, 2 years, you know, like that. But over the phone, when I tell them that, like I'm getting like 1 or 2 referrals a week now because the process was so smooth and so simple that they want their friends or family members to go through this, right? Like, hey, 30 minutes with him and he'll get you right. You know, he ain't got to see you, all that, and he's a trustworthy guy. And then they're sending me people, and I'm getting deals, more deals that way. The other thing was for Morris, because I know he has the mortgage protection in Washington, living in California. So just to help put your mind around, you know, if you're going to do this hybrid system, especially if you're traveling for mortgage. And what I was able to do in those 2 weeks when I started originally calling my mortgage in South Carolina because I couldn't go nowhere. But prior to that, Gage, you know better than I do, we talked about this before. When you're doing travel trips with your mortgage, typically, you know, you're sitting on the leads for 2.5 weeks so that you can let them pile up so that you can have enough leads to call and book 30 appointments for a 3-day run, right? But doing that, by doing that, now you're like $4,500 in the hole before your travel trip, right? And when lead costs, transportation, hotel, rent a car, all that, you're like $4,500 in the hole. Now, good thing God has blessed us with FFL, so we can go and get that back, right? So now you got to go out there and get the 10,000, the 15,000, the 20,000. We know we can do it, but there's some stress that come along with that, Gage. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we know we can do it, but still in the back of our mind, we're like, ooh, I got to go make this thing happen, right? You know, like,
yep.
I got to make it
on
happen.
yourself.
Yeah, I can't afford for nothing to mess up. I got to go get this. I'm already $4,500 down. So there is some stress involved, right? But now what I did those 2 weeks while I was calling over the phone to South Carolina, here from Arizona, and closing over the phone, I was able to issue 18 grand in those 2 weeks over the phone off of the mortgage protection leads that I normally would have just been sitting on to call them to go run the appointments. And then also when you're running like that, you know, you miss about 3-4 deals when you do that, because those ones that you've been sitting on for 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks, now you get there and somebody else done beat you in. Another FFL agent or somebody else done beat you in. Now you just lost that deal. And you're like, damn, that was a buyer and I missed them, right?
Happens every time.
Happens every time. Like you missed 2 or 3 of them. Like, damn, that was a buyer and I missed them. Now, the fact that I'm able to call them as soon as they hit my CRM, the day they hit my CRM, I'm on the phone with you, trying to one call close you. I close you, I put up 18 grand. Now that 3rd week when I went out to do the run, I went out there for 9 appointments. I flew from Arizona to South Carolina for 9 appointments. Gage, would you ever travel for a 3-day trip with 9 appointments?
Never.
It's like, hey, I might well just call it off and push it back next week and try to, move the appointments to next week so I get my 20, 30, right? But what allowed me to go run 9 appointments with confidence was the 18,000 that was already on the board, right? I already had 18,000 on the board, so I'm going over there 18 up versus 4.5 down, and those 9 people were the people that told me that they wasn't comfortable doing it over the phone. I had to come to the house, and so when they told me that, I just told them straight up. I kept it real with them. I say, hey, brother, that's fine. If you want to do the face-to-face, that's totally fine. I live in Arizona. Yes, I'm from South Carolina, but I live in Arizona and I travel there twice a month. When I'm not there, I'm servicing over the phone. But if we want to do it face-to-face, my next time over there is 2 weeks from now. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and get you on my calendar now, before it fills up, and also so that you don't book another appointment with somebody else, Gage, because I'm going to be traveling 2,100 miles to come help your family, right? I'm telling them just like that. I'm going to be traveling 2,100 miles to come help your family. So let's get that locked down. Now, when I went over there for the 9 appointments over a 3-day span, I had 9 appointments over 3 days. You know what I'm saying? So instead of me running 10 appointments a day, running around like I'm like a chicken with his head cut off, now I got 3 hours in between appointments. You know, now I'm stopping by my aunt's house, eating some, she done make some fried fish, some collard greens, some cornbread. And I can stop by there and eat lunch with my aunt, you know, because I got 3 hours before the next appointment, right? You know, and out of the 9 appointments, I sat on 8, and I closed 7 of them for another 13 grand. You know, so in totality,
31,000, no stress, enjoy time with the family. Life's good.
Life's good, like for real. And so that's what made me say like this works. Like this works, you know. So you're still gonna go run the field, but now when you go run the field, it's a cleanup run.
Yep, I love that.
So everybody that didn't answer, they also got door knocks while I was there. I had more time to do the door knocks, you know, and resolve some door knocks as well.
Yep. No, that makes total sense, man. I appreciate you giving that insight too. And that's a great, valuable lesson for us who have mortgage in different areas and not realizing, because I know for a fact that Cody, and I know for a fact that Sprout, and for myself and Moises, we all have mortgage protection mailers in different states than where we live in. And all we've known was to let it pile up. So then we got a stack of those leads. But in all reality, we can take that approach. Like, hey, we can take care of it over the phone here, or I'm going to be in person 2 weeks from now or a week from now. Like that's money, man. So I appreciate you sharing that. I appreciate, you know, all of you agents that have stayed on here. I know that for a fact, I gained some knowledge. If you guys learned anything from Kitchens tonight, please drop a 1 in the comments to show my man some love.
Appreciate it, man.
I'm looking forward to spending some time with you in Arizona coming up for the Launch 2021. That's going to be a huge event for all of us. And it's going to help propel our business and go in the right direction, man. So I appreciate you and your time.
I want to say what's up to Jared, man. What's up, Jared? Hey, that's my guy right there in Willis, man. I'm coming for